popularity had a face, it was Noah Carter's, star quarterback. Prom king frontrunner. Dimples that could melt metal. And a walk that made every hallway feel like a red carpet. He didn't just rule Rosewood High, he was Rosewood High, but power, especially in teenage hands, is rarely gentle. Yo, Scarface. He smirked, slamming his locker shut. Students turned. Laughed. Looked away. Across the hall, a petite girl shrank into her hoodie. Her left cheek was etched with burn scars, old ones, deep ones. Some said she got caught in a fire as a child. Others made up stories for fun. Her name was Lena Reyes. She said nothing. She never did, but her eyes, they burned like the scars on her face. Noah laughed with his friends. Hey, Lena, Halloween's not for another 3 months. Another round of chuckles. Lena simply walked away, but life? Life had already marked its calendar. Noah didn't just bully Lena. He made it sport. In the cafeteria, don't sit too close as guys, her face might melt your lunch. In science lab, you sure she didn't spill acid on herself by mistake? And worst of all, during yearbook photo day, he'd switched her name tag to Bernita. Lena skipped school for a week after that. Teachers said nothing. Most students laughed awkwardly or stayed silent. Noah's girlfriend, Heather, once muttered, "That's a bit harsh, babe." Noah kissed her cheek and shrugged. She's weird. She should be homeschooled or something. No one dared challenge him, except fate. It happened on a Friday night, post-game party. Loud music. Beers. Dares. Noah, high on ego and adrenaline, jumped into his Mustang with 2 friends. They sped through the winding hill roads like it was a racetrack, until a truck came around the bend. Screams, metal on metal, shattering glass, then flames. The crash made the 10 o'clock news. His friends survived with minor injuries, but Noah? He was pulled from the wreckage unconscious, face engulfed in second-degree burns. Doctors fought to save him. They did, but not his reflection. Noah woke up 5 days later, his throat burned. His limbs ached, but when the nurse handed him a mirror, none of that mattered. He screamed, half his face, a twisted patchwork of pink and rawness. One eyebrow gone. His once perfect jawline? Misshapen. I look like a monster. He gasped. The nurse remained calm. You're lucky to be alive. He hurled the mirror across the room. In his mind, he replayed every taunt he'd thrown at Lena. Every cruel word. Every laugh. Was this karma? He wept like he never had before. 2 weeks later, he was transferred to a rehab clinic for facial trauma recovery. One afternoon, a quiet knock sounded on his door. Come in, he croaked. A girl stepped inside, hoodie up, clipboard in hand. I'm Lena. Volunteer assistant. Noah froze. He stared at her, the familiar scar, the wary eyes. She was here, she saw him. He turned away in shame. I can leave, she said softly. No, he whispered. Stay. I deserve this. She walked in, placing fresh bandages on his tray. I didn't come to mock you. I would've, he admitted. I know, she replied. Silence. Why help me? He asked, voice cracking. Because someone helped me once, when no one else would. He couldn't look at her. She stayed for 20 minutes, then left quietly. The next day, she returned, and the next, and the next. They didn't talk much at first. Just silence, interrupted by the beeping machines and the occasional clumsy thank you. But over time, he asked questions. How'd it happen? To your face? She hesitated. Kitchen fire. I was 6. Tried to save my little brother. He blinked. You were a hero. She shrugged. Didn't feel like one. Not at school. He swallowed. I was awful to you. She nodded. But I didn't hate you, she said. I just hoped one day, you'd understand. Now he did. Physical therapy was brutal, but emotional healing was worse. Noah had to learn to speak with a crooked smile, to eat with a spoon again, to face a mirror without flinching. And Lena, she helped him through it all, taught him to laugh again, not at others, but with humility. One day, he looked at her and said, You're beautiful, you know? She raised an eyebrow, he chuckled. Not in pity. I mean it. You're the bravest person I know. She didn't reply, but her eyes softened. 6 months later, Noah returned to school. He wore a hat, sunglasses, and a thick layer of fear. Whispers followed him, but no one dared mock him, because next to him was Lena. They walked into the cafeteria together, sat together, people stared. But didn't laugh. Someone whispered, "Isn't that karma?" Noah heard, he didn't care. He leaned over to Lena. "Can I sit with you every day?" She smiled, "As long as you bring extra fries." He grinned. Or tried to. Noah never returned to football. Instead, he started a peer mentorship program for kids with visible injuries, disabilities, or trauma. He gave speeches about bullying, trauma, and recovery. And Lena, she became a nurse, a real one. They kept in touch. Some say they started dating, others say they just remained lifelong friends. But one thing was certain, he never mocked another soul again. And every time he looked in the mirror, he remembered, the pain you caused today might become the lesson life teaches you tomorrow. The end. My name is Temille Deebs. Please subscribe and make sure to click on the notification button to know when we upload a new video. Also like, share and comment your thoughts. Thank you, and I will see you in the next video.